Hey everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to the next episode of the DeAgostini Lotus Renault 97T Formula One car driven by the infamous Ayrton Senna. We are now up to stages 7 and 8. I can't believe how fast we're flying through this project, although we're still way early in the build. There's a lot more to go. But just to kind of catch you up to speed on things, this is where we left off. We had the two front wings and the two side panels linked together through the steering rack system, and today actually we're going to join these a little bit more permanently with the addition of the nose. You'll see this better when we open it up, but we've got the nose piece which will help hold things together, and then in stage 8 we're actually going to be installing more of the I think they call it a monocoque cockpit assembly. And this, I can tell you right now, it's metal. This is one hefty box. I'm really impressed with the weight of that, which means it's high quality. So without any further ado, let's start building. Okay, looking at the bag for stage 7, I find it interesting actually that they've provided us with another Phillips screwdriver. And oh, there's a little screw bag that just sort of fell out. The side, oh, there's a whole bunch of them in here. I'm glad I noticed that. So we can discard the bag. But the blister pack has another screwdriver in there for us, as well as all the little pieces to go along with the assembly. Okay, so we've got another screwdriver. Now this is the primary focus, I believe, on the at least the early steps. The front nose piece, and that's definitely metal. That is solid chunk of metal right there. So we've got that, and we've got some gearbox assembly parts and a whole bunch of little baggies of screws. So let me get what we need out and we will start on step number 1. Okay, the first step is actually installing the nose cone section. But for these steps here, everything is actually inverted. So I've got the nose of the car flipped upside down, and the nose cone as well is going to be upside down. Now, I find this very interesting. We're supposed to use screws GP and HP, and I'm looking at them side by side, and I don't know if it'll focus, I see zero difference with these screws. I mean, same length, same thread, same head, same everything, but they're different by label, so we're going to treat them as such. But I just found that very interesting that they I would have thought they would just combine them all to be the same screw. But so we want to use here, we'll do this side first. There's these side screw holes here that these pins will pop into, and once they pop in, then you can see if I can find them in the kind of fiddle around with it till they pop into place. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to try to hold that in position, and with the H, I'm going to start with the H because that's the rearward screw. See if I can thread this in. Now these are plastic, so, and it didn't catch. There we go. Okay, for some reason that is not grabbing the hole. There it goes. Okay, I wasn't pushing in hard enough to catch the threads. Okay, so let me start out with that one, and then I'll do the G up front. Ah! I just discovered something. See, this is very interesting. That is actually an Allen-headed screw. Why they would do that, I don't know. So I'm looking at the screwdriver they gave us, and it's a Phillips. So I don't know how they expect you to install that. Let me step aside for a second. Oh, no, there it is. I found it. I was going to say, they've got to have the Allen wrench in here somewhere. I thought that was like a pin or something, but that is actually the Allen wrench. So I guess, oh, I see how this works. You can run through this hole, pick up the screw, and thread it in that. Nope. At least it's magnetic. That makes things a little easier to pick up. See, this is pretty fiddly. Let me get this started, then we'll come back and I'll show you after I got it on. Okay, just a quick update. I had to run out to my toolbox and get a 1/16 inch Allen wrench. The one they give you, it's flimsy, it's weak. How do you really grip that end? There's really nothing to grab onto. So anyway, and again, it was stripped. It was just very frustrating. So I went out and got my own Allen wrench for my set, and 1000% easier to work with. So just fit it in that way, and it tightens right up. So there, solid as a rock. I'm going to go ahead and do the same on the other side, and then we will move on to step number 3. I wish I could tell you there was a fast way to do this, but there's no way on the second side to get that GP screw in. You can get about a 1/4 turn, take it out, realign, 1/4 turn. It's a very arduous process. So this one screw's taken me about 5 minutes to get, but it's going. It's just, you got to be patient. You can't just start spinning it fast. So anyway, just want to show you how we're making slow progress here, but we're making progress nonetheless. Okay, now that we've finished attaching the front nose cone, I just want to show you what a quality looking piece that is. That is one solid looking front end right there. So anyway, very pleased now that we've got it on. Again, it was a little bit tricky with that failed Allen wrench that they give you. Yeah, this just didn't quite cut it. But we got it in, and all is well that ends well. So, all right, we can set this aside now, and we can start moving on to the next step. We're going to take this long black piece. This is the, it's more of a rack to hold everything, but we want to take our fire extinguisher, which is the little red piece here, and it fits into the outermost hole on this bar. And it appears to be just a pressure fit. Oh, and it snaps in, so very nice. Okay, so that's in good. Okay, set that aside. Now we're going to take our shifter and attach the actual shift knob to it, and it looks like a little ball joint that fits in here with the attachment with the FP screws. So let me grab one of the FP screws. They're long and skinny. And it looks like we're probably going to have to use our smallest screwdriver because it's pretty small head. Yeah. Okay. Now the screw is actually going to come in from this side here. So let me go ahead and get it started. Okay. And we'll put the shifter in, and hopefully this screw will go all the way through to the other side. Yep. Okay. Oops. Okay, it's stiff, but it does rotate. Nice. Okay, and then we want to take the rod bracket and fit this piece. Let me see if I can look at the diagram there. The tiny little hole there that pin fits into, and it just pressure fits right into place there. Okay. Then we're going to take the piece that we previously mounted the fire extinguisher on and rotate it this way, and then these 4 holes here, I'm sorry, these 4 pins are going to fit into the outer 4 holes. Whoops. You gotta love these little fiddly pieces here. Okay, let's see if we can get this. There we go. Okay, that's just all pressure fit. And then we want to take our DP screw, have it ready to go. And we're going to take this other bracket piece here, and that pin's going to go into that empty slot right there. It looks like that little post is going to go in that indent. Let's see if I can get that there. And then indent there. And then the DP screw will come up from underneath and thread into that block right there. Okay, so there we go. That completes, there we go, just get that straight. Okay, that completes stage 7. Let's clear the board and we'll get ready for stage 8. Okay, stage 8 consists of a rather large and heavy box. This is our monocoque chassis and our anti-roll bar assembly. So we're going to be doing a couple things in here in this stage. Let me go ahead and open this up and we'll pull this assembly out. Again, I can just tell right off the bat that is solid metal right there. Okay, there's the label. Looks like we have some decals in there as well. And there's our screw pack and some odds and ends. But wow, that is one big hunky chunk of metal right there. Gosh, that feels like it weighs a couple pounds by itself. All right, and then here we got our screws. Let me get this open. Okay, a lot of little parts we got to keep our eyes on there, so we don't want to lose anything. I'll set the screw bags aside. Oh, nice little little Lotus placard there. That's pretty cool. All right. All right, so let me sort through this and we will start in the first step of stage 8. Okay, step 1 consists of a lot of fiddly little pieces. We got to be very careful to get this in the right order and to not lose anything. But the first thing we want to do is take the anti-roll housing, which is this black piece right here, and take the bar and slip it through the end hole here, little pin. And once we get to about there, we want to take the command bar knob, and it looks like in the tapered part, I don't know if that'll focus, the back end is a little bit tapered. That goes away from the pin, and then the pin's going to plug into that and put in flush there. Okay, let me take my tweezers just to help snap that in a little bit. Man, the detail on this is just incredible. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we can control that bar with that knob by rotating it, and it fits into those little grooves there. let me get this back, the pin back out of the housing. There we go. So keep that up to keep it, yeah. Okay, so now we have to attach this to the inside of the chassis, and that is done by pushing those two posts right there into these two holes here and here. So from the inside, there, I'll pop them into place. And then taking two IP screws, we're going to take these, and let me get my magnetic screwdriver here. There, and thread that into the plastic housing. Okay. And the other one. There we go. Okay, so from the top looking down, you can see the assembly in here with the pin and the knob. Okay. Okay, now we want to take the cockpit left panel, which is this little piece right here, and you'll notice it's got the two screw-in posts, but it's also got this pin that will align it in the side of the chassis for us. So I'm going to take it and insert it from the inside, lining that pin up. There, you can kind of snapped into place. And then I'm going to take two of the IP screws. Hopefully that should stay because the pin's holding it in place. Okay, take our IP screws and we're going to screw them into these holes here. There, nice and snug. All right. Okay, the next step is to actually apply the Lotus little registration placard decal. I'm not sure if that'll focus and well enough to read. Very fine print, but it is there. It's very specific information. There, maybe that'll focus for you. But anyway, it's got a little peel back decal, and it's going to fit into this. I'm not sure if you can see. There's the rectangular. There, right in that little spot right there is where it's going to go. And actually, I think it would have been easier to install it prior to the side panel here, because I think that the side panel might hinder us, but you know what? That's the way they tell you to do it, so that's the way we're going to do it. So let me take a knife and help peel off the backing. Okay. And I'm going to take my tweezers and do my best to get that right in its spot. You only get one shot at this. Oops, sorry, I bumped the camera there. Oh, okay. Perfect. Dropped right into the spot it needs to go. Excellent. Okay, hopefully you can see it in there. Okay, next step now is to go to the right side of the chassis, and we're going to install the control panel that we created earlier with the shifter knob and our fire extinguisher. That's going to go on the inside and fit into, there we go, those little indent posts. Okay, it's not going to hold. I was hoping it would hold for us, but it's not. So let me get my screwdriver ready. I'm just going to have to hold it from underneath. Okay, lock that one in. And we'll do the back one. Nice. Okay, so there it is. You can see it on the inside of the cockpit, and the knob shifts forward and backward. Nice. Okay. Okay, this is a really fun part. I will admit, off camera, I did do a dry fit to make sure I knew how all this works and goes together. It is a little tricky, and bear with me if I don't get it on the first try here, but if I keep finagling with it enough, it will pop into place. But we want to take these two units, which are both pretty substantial, flip them over to inverted, and we want to fit this bulkhead down in this direction here and drop it into place. There we go. And then there's 3 pin holes up here with recessed holes for the bolts. Let me get this bulkhead is what's kind of causing a little hassle. There we go. Sort of snaps into place there. So I want to take 3 BM screws and fit them into these 3 pins up here, and that's what's going to hold everything together. Okay, feels like it's secure. Okay, let me take the next one. Okay. This thing is getting progressively massive here on my bench, which is good. There we go. Okay, those 3 are nice and snug. Okay, so now when we flip this thing over, look at that. That is looking like a race car. That is outstanding. All right, let me figure out what screws and bolts we need next, and we'll come right back. Okay, now we're actually going to attach these panels, which are a little bit on the loose side, to the inside using 5 on each side of the KP screws. So it's a little bit awkward of an angle, but let's see if these will. Not sure the best. Let me try a smaller screwdriver actually. Okay. Yeah, this is tricky only because of the angles that you have to work with. Let me go back to the big one and see if that. Okay. I might have to use the open of the cockpit to get to these bottom ones. Yeah. Come in from underneath. Yeah, that works good. This one is another odd angle here. Let's see. There we go. And then one up front. Okay, let's see. Okay, that worked. Okay, we'll turn it around and we'll do the same thing on the other side. The only thing that makes this tricky is these angles. It's the only tricky part. See, that one's just not quite threading in because I think I'm coming in at a too much of a side angle. Yeah, that one's not quite threading in. Let me do the nose real quick and I'll come back to it. Okay. There. Okay, it grabbed. Okay. No, it didn't. It's still... All right, let me do this off camera and figure out why it's not quite threading in. Okay, that was a quick fix. All I had to do was just pinch this tighter to the frame and then it aligned that post so I could thread that in. So that I literally fixed that in 2 seconds. Okay, so that completes those side screws. And we've got a whole bunch of screws up front. So let me get the screws sorted through the bags and then we'll come back up to the front end here. Okay, last step in stage 8 is to take 4 of your EM screws and use them to mount the upper control arm of the car to the chassis. I've already done the first 3 and I just they were a little finicky to get in there, but I just wanted to show you how. I'll put the last one in here. They go in these holes right here, just like so. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the last little screw bit that we're going to use is the BM screw. And these are tiny little guys, but these are what's going to hold the steering bulkhead to the chassis. So let's see, these are going to fit right down into there. And nice, threaded right in, no issues. Perfect, okay. Perfect. All right, so there you have it. That's it for stage 8. Well, that wraps up stages 7 and 8 on the Lotus Renault 97T. And I gotta tell you, this thing is looking awesome. I mean, look at the size of that thing. It's just ginormous. and it's hefty. I can't tell you how many pounds it already is, but it's already up there. Now they did include some decals, which due to legal purposes they can't really advertise, but they did include the John Player special decals that will be applied to the side of the body once I'm done working with it. I don't want to put them on too early and risk sliding them off, so we'll hold off on that for a bit, but we do have them and they will be applied later on. So that's it for stages 7 and 8. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay tuned for the next episode when we hit 9 and 10. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.